All right, let's do this. I give time for some people to tune in. What's going on, everybody, on this lovely Saturday? Let's do this. We're gonna knock this out early, because tonight I'm gonna be too preoccupied with other things, mainly the heavyweight championship of the world. So we'll give everybody time to come in, get situated, and then we'll get on here and we'll, let me fix my mic. Better, yeah. Get on here and we'll talk about a little bit stuff. Not too much for state stuff going on. There is one topic I want to talk about. What up, Kendrick? What up, Pimpin'? Couple things I want to cook on a little bit. Well, mainly just one big topic, and then from there on we can just talk about whatever's new in the world today. But again, I'm gonna try to see if anybody else shows up. Try to get the people out here. Matter of fact, let me share my link a little bit. Hold on. Throw my link out there. Facebook. All right, sent a couple links out. See what that do. Mainly today, man, we just a little, cooking. We kicking back. That's nothing too serious. I do want to talk about your boy. I've criticized him before, Corey Durden. I want to cook on him a little bit. And his foolishness is going to eventually get him in trouble. Going to eventually get him messed up. But again, I'm going to wait. See if we can get some more viewers in here before we start going in. But hey, if you're joining the chat, man, hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up. Spread the word. This ain't Saturday Night Live, but we cooking. Because tonight ain't going to be no live show. It might, though, I'm debating. Tonight I might do something after that fight. I don't know. We'll see, depending on how I feel. If my boy win, I'll probably be on here. If not, I might just be sad and go to sleep. So far, man, I just see Kendrick in the house, man. Nobody else. I know I don't usually come on this early, so I know y'all probably wasn't ready for me. This was a spur of the moment thing. I figured I'd do it. Why not? I've been lackadaisical on the content lately, so I figured why not get out here and do something for the people. Something for the folks. I'm gonna give it like 2 more minutes, man. I'm gonna just start talking. If people come in, they come in. If not, they can watch the playback. I'm gonna give it like 2 more minutes. I'm gonna start talking about what I want to talk about. This Corey Durden mess. And how he continues to run his mouth every time something happens he don't agree with. So if you don't know, you about to know. As far as other FSU, before I click on that, we'll talk about some other stuff. Let's see. As far as other FSU news and notes, I don't really have much, man. Don't really have much. Basketball team still doing what the basketball team does. I think Duke just got blown out by like NC State, right? But you know, Hoop still hooping. We play NC State today in about 20 so odd minutes. So if you're gonna tune into that, by all means, go ahead and tune into it. NC State 17-9. Leading scorer CJ Bryce, 13.7 points a game. Leading rebounder is CJ Bryce. So Bryce is the all-around best player on their team, for similar to Vassell being the best player on our team. Vassell leads us with 13 points a game. ESPN has this as like a 50-50 game. We are a 50.3 favorite to win. NC State is a 49.7. So that's a 50-50 game. I'm surprised that we're a 50-50 game with NC State. It has a lot to do with the fact that they just blew out Duke. Honestly. 3 days ago, 88-66, knocked the doors off of Duke basketball. I think that's what that has to do with. But as I'm looking, don't look like any more people are really going to join. I guess, it is a early, let me see, on the East Coast, what is it? It's 3 o'clock on the East Coast, almost 4 o'clock on the East Coast, 2:42 in the Central Time. I guess people are still out doing what they do. So I'm not going to wait too much longer. Won't be on here too long if nobody's really going to show up. Just go ahead and talk about what I want to talk about. But basically, yep, that's all for the basketball news and notes. Let's get on what I came here for. I want to talk about what I came here for, man. So, this past week, as if you don't know, let's fill you up from the beginning of the story and let's go. A.J. Lighton is no longer a Florida State football player. So A.J. Lighton has been removed from the team for reasons that haven't been made public. Now, from what I have gathered from people that I think seem to be in the know, usually give solid information, when it first dropped, everybody's got an opinion, but from what I've gathered, what's been the constant narrative, and everybody seems to have the same narrative, is Lighton quit during tour of duty / mat drills. So in the spring workouts, he quit. I don't know if it got too hard for him. Don't necessarily know what happened, but he apparently walked out of the tour duty drills. Next thing we know, FSU's announcing that he is no longer with the program. Now, let's talk about Lighton for a little bit. That's interesting development. I thought Lighton was a player that I wanted to see utilized more the past 2 years under Coach Taggart, and we didn't get to see that. He very rarely got playing time, didn't get a lot of playing time, especially meaningful snaps, right? Now, you have to ask yourself this question. Did he not get playing time because he wasn't putting in the work? He wasn't putting in the effort to get on the field? It looks like maybe that's the case. And he came in here with that same BS under Norvell. Norvell said, I'm not having it. So he got the boot. You got to work hard, Kendrick. I agree. You can tell. I don't want to say you can tell he's a Taggart guy, but you got to work hard. Donald, what's up, man? Brett, glad to see you join. He said, what up, Polk? Just wanted to say, what up before I watch basketball game. Yeah, I know it's coming on in like 20-some-odd minutes. Probably going to tune into it myself. Just want to get a quick video out there for you guys. It doesn't look like too many people are going to tune in today, but that's okay. They can watch the playback. But like I was saying, it's interesting to see that he didn't get a lot of playing time under Taggart, if you want to say he was a Taggart guy, only to then walk out of Norvell's practices. So that's kind of the gist on Lighten. Like, we didn't see him get a lot of playing time. Is that because he wasn't putting in the work to get on the field? Now we see that, you got a brand new staff. So you can make a brand new first impression. And your first impression is walking out of practice. Yeah. So you get dismissed from the team. Okay, that's big news, but, whatever. You expect that going forward. Look, this fat is going to get trimmed off this team. Guys who aren't bought in, it looks like Norvell's not playing any games, you're gone. That leads me to one guy who seems to always have something to say. Corey Durden tweets. Roughly, this is kind of off the top of my head, but it was in this, he tweets, the AJ shit I can't respect, something to that nature. I'd have to go back and try to find it, and I don't feel like it right now. Basically, he openly disagrees with AJ Lighten being dismissed and says he won't respect it. Fine. Why tweet that, though? He deletes the tweet not too much longer after that. So here's the issue. Durden has had a habit of running his mouth every time he disagrees with something. He goes to social media and wants to post it. He posted when Norvell got hired, he didn't come to FSU to play for 3 coaches in 3 years or whatever it was he posted. And I went in on that. And I'm going to go in on today. That's right, I'm going to cook his ass today because at the end of the day, Durden's focus seems to be everywhere but improving his own craft and getting better as a football player and improving his draft stock. He shouldn't even, look, it's understandable that a teammate gets dismissed for whatever reason and maybe you don't agree with it. That's something you talk about, you and your other teammates. You keep that in-house, you keep that with your boys. Why the hell are you going to social media saying you won't respect it? Almost basically saying, I don't respect the coaching staff for doing that. You're going to be this close, Corey Durden, to now your ass getting dismissed. The only thing probably keeping Corey Durden there is Odell Higgins. He better be careful. How about shut up, focused on your craft, focused on being the second best defensive tackle on the team. You should be striving to be better than Marv. Is that realistic? Probably not, but that should be your goal. Focus on having the best defensive tackle rotation in all of college football with you, Marv, Koo. You got the freshman Emmanuel Rogers. You got True Thompson. The DN from Louisville. Yep. Odell confirmed that he's moving inside the D tackle. So you got 6 deep along the defensive tackle that I think you're going to rotate. And focus on that being the best defensive tackle rotation in the nation. Not worrying about what's A.J. Lighten in his situation. Because quite frankly, if it's true that Lighten walked out of a workout, if he walked out of the tour of duty drills, well then, damn it, you shouldn't be defending that. As a leader on the team, Durden, you should be condemning that action. And no, we don't like to see kids get booted off teams and get kicked out of school. I don't know if Lighten's getting kicked out of this, his scholarship was for playing football, so I would assume that he's probably going to find somewhere else to go to school at. Do we like to see that type of thing? No. But if you're not committed, you came there to play football, and if you ain't committed to playing football, Durden, you should be condemning that action, not condemning the fact that he got kicked off the team. Now, I don't know all the details of it, and I'm sure there's stuff that a lot of us don't know. He still didn't have to make it public. Them FSU videos with the workouts make me hype. Oh, Yeah, they've been looking good in the workouts. I like seeing the guys work hard. So if Lighton couldn't work hard, Lighton, you gotta go. Like, I don't understand why Durden feels the need to bitch about it on social media. If you have a problem with it, maybe you take that up and talk to Coach Norvell one-on-one. Like, handle it like a man. Don't get on social. That's the problem with today's generation. They gotta get on social media and talk about everything. If he's not careful, he'll be the next one going. I'm telling you. Donald says Norvell's putting in work, weeding out. You gotta weed them out. You gotta trim the fat, baby. You gotta trim the fat. If you're not committed 100%, we don't need you. Now, Lighton is a kid that I wanted to see get some opportunities, but it's obvious dude has work ethic problems, or you don't quit. Like Warren Thompson. Warren Thompson's lucky he's still on this team. I understand that Warren Thompson didn't quit because he's immune to hard work. He kind of quit in the sense of he had a beef with Taggart, and I get that. But a quit, you quit, you quit. So Warren's lucky he's still on the team. But I mean, Lighton, you walked out. You got what happened. Like, every action has a reaction. You did what you did. Consequences follow it, good or bad. Durden decides to speak out on it. He deletes the tweet pretty quickly. I'm assuming he may not have had any consequences, or maybe they kept it in-house with Durden. My guess is somebody like Big Marv came to Durden and was like, yo, you got to delete that. You got to get rid of that tweet. We can't have, like, me personally, I feel like this team has a chance to do some special things next year. I'm not going to say they're going to contend for a playoff spot, but when you return a first-round talent in Marv, when you return at least a day two talent in Terry, right? Combining with, Durden, Coop, I think is probably a draftable player. You have a chance to do something to really improve this, what we've seen in the last couple of years. You got a chance to really improve it, especially with some solid coaching. We don't need dysfunction in the locker room. So that's really what I wanted to, touch on today. That's kind of the main topic. Because other than that, there hasn't really been a lot of Florida State news to talk about. Like I said, we got the basketball game coming up here in a few minutes, about 10, 15 minutes or so. But yeah, the Lighton Durden situation, I think I needed to address it. Y'all know me, I like to address excuse me, I like to address what's currently going on within the program. Kendrick's talking about our kicker being better than Ricky Aguayo. Yeah, I think special teams is going to be a real focus for this staff. So I'm not too worried on the special teams. I'm not too worried on the special teams, man. But I agree, we definitely need to improve the special teams, but that seems to be a Norvell special. Every team he's coached at has been solid on the special team, so not too much worried about that. I just think if Norvell is allowed to do what he can do what he's supposed to do, and he's doing it from what I see, getting rid of the guys that don't want to be here, that don't want to work. Hey, I'm all in on the Norvell train until proven otherwise. And unlike the previous regime, where off the field, Taggart was doing everything right. He had donated $1 million of his own dollars to the facilities. He had ingratiated himself with Coach Bowden. I remember Taggart first did the job. Everything off the field was perfect. Little did we know, the actual coaching and running the football team was in damn disarray. Norvell seems to have a lock on both situations. I'm not mad. I expect before the end of spring, I expect to see maybe one or two more guys leave the program, unless they get it together and get with the program. But yo, thanks you guys for tuning in. If you're tuning in, man, hit that thumbs up, drop something in the chat. But yeah, that's what I really wanted. That was what I really wanted to touch on today. Was Corey Durden being a knucklehead again and talking at his ass when he should just be focused on playing football. Yes, the Lighton situation may suck, but that don't mean you need to address it. Who are you to address it? Focus on being the best defensive tackle you can be. Kendrick say Norvell got a purpose and he's fulfilling it so far. We'll see, we'll see. Taggart's practices was light and looked easy. So here's the thing about, I'm glad you kind of bring up the Taggart practices, Kendrick. I was never against the playing of the music in practice. If you have strong coaches, the music thing shouldn't be a problem. It's obvious we didn't have strong coaches, and kids, we were more, it looks like they just practiced more on dancing during the practicing than actually practicing football, because we could swag serve before a game, and then we would lose. So that became my issue with Taggart's practices, is it didn't seem like there was any true focus on Taggart's practices. Just from the videos I watch, and I watch the same videos you guys watch. I say this all the time. I'm not some insider, and I don't have any key access, obviously all the way here in Hawaii. What key access do I have to FSU? I watch the same videos that everybody else in the country watches. And it just didn't seem, it seemed like kids were, while they were waiting for reps, instead of maybe focusing on, well, what's this guy doing right in reps? There's little key intricacies that you watch or should be watching as a player. For instance, if Marv is going through a rep, and Marv's the best player on the team, if I'm a lower rated guy or a lower class guy, I'm watching Marv and going, oh, that's what he does. I need to take up that. And instead of doing those type of things as players, no, while guys were waiting for reps, they were too busy dancing. So that's what became the problem with Taggart's practices. The focus just wasn't there, obviously. So nobody was improving. But I'm glad you brought that up, Kendrick. Yeah, I think Taggart's practices looked. I don't know if light and looked easy is the answer, but they definitely looked unfocused. Norvell just looks like he's got him locked in. You're gonna work hard, or you're either gonna work hard or you're gonna get the boot. And I'm with it. You gotta, very similar to like a lot of other physically demanding professions. You gotta break the body down, or break them down and build them back up. You know what I mean? You gotta break them down and build them up. Kendrick said they probably showed up late to practices, late by making good excuses. I don't have any knowledge of anybody doing things like that. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, at this point, there's already been a multitude of players that have spoke out against the Willie Taggart era. There's been recruits, former players, even coaches. I still stick with it. If you go back and listen to Odell during his interim coach, he was taking light shots, subliminal shots at that regime. I'm telling you, go back and listen to him. Willie Taggart was very friendly with the players. See, that's the thing. There's not a problem, right, with being friendly with the players. But in every situation, think of it as and that was from Donald, by the way. Appreciate your input, Donald. There's not a problem with being friendly with the players, but I want you to think about it as like a household. You're going to have one parent that's lenient. For instance, in mine, I'm the lenient parent. My wife's the strict parent, right? If you're going to be, in terms of the head coach, be the fun-loving coach, which is cool. There's a lot of coaches that are players' coaches. Whether you got like a Tony Dungy or guys like that, that's cool. But then you have to have somebody on that staff that's going to say, that when that guy comes around, all things shut up, get quiet. For instance, Bobby Bowden was known as a friendly players coach. He was a guy that was known to give a lot of chances to guys even after they made mistakes. Out of Bobby Bowden's own mouth, you don't just because a guy make a mistake, you can't just throw him away, because you might be the only father figure or whatever left for that player. Bobby was known for being a friendly players coach. You know who was known as the hard ass? Mickey Andrews. When Mickey Andrews came around, all the BS stopped, and it was time to focus and get to work. Florida State didn't have that under Taggart. You could have been, Taggart was okay for Taggart to be the light-hearted coach. But who was the disciplinary coach on that staff? And you have to have somebody in defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator type of position. And there was nobody. Everybody from coach, everybody was just a player's coach and wanted to have fun. You know what I mean? And that's why I say when you watch Odell and you watch his pressers as when he was the intern, and he repeatedly talked about going back to the Nole way. I don't think Odell was any at all thrilled about the things Taggart was doing. It's just Odell is committed to the university, and he wasn't gonna, he wasn't gonna throw his university under the bus. But you gotta have a good cop and a bad cop in every situation. So if you don't have a bad cop, too many good cops, the prisoners do what the hell they want to do. And that's essentially what it looked like ended up happening. So, kudos or big ups to Norvell for putting his foot down, man. Putting standards in, enforcing standards. You're gonna work hard this offseason, and you're gonna be demanded to give 100%. And so, for me, I appreciate it. I like watching it. Kendrick say, I feel like Taggart and his staff wasn't investing into FSU. Renzo Duckworth, you are this is my first time seeing you. Kendrick, I'm going to get back to you, but I got a new guy that I want to talk about. Renzo says, hey, what's up? I'm new to the chat. Yep, this is my first time seeing you, man, so I appreciate you for tuning in, man. Bobby Bowden could have Randy Moss. He gave Moss a chance, but Moss messed it up by smoking weed. Bobby Bowden gave a lot of guys chances. Yeah, I remember Randy was at Florida State. Man, imagine if we would have had Randy and P-Dub on the same team. That would have been so crazy. But yeah, Randy messed up. But Bobby Bowden was known for giving chances. He was known for being a player coach. And they also had that other guy on that other side of the field named Mickey Andrews, who was known as no-nonsense, hard-nosed, would call you everything under the sun, but people respected him because they knew that he loved his players and demanded the best at him. So you just got to have good cop, bad cop. But I appreciate you for tuning in, Renzo, man. I'm glad to see a new face in the chat, man. Now, Kendrick, go back to you. You said you feel like Taggart and his staff wasn't investing. Financially, Taggart invested in Florida State. Anytime you donate $1 million of your own salary. So I can't necessarily say that. I just don't think it's very hard for me to pinpoint Taggart's mindset because I don't know what he was thinking. Because for a man to say his dream job was Florida State and then to treat the job the way he treated it, all nonchalantly, like, I don't know where his mind state was, to be quite honest with you. I can't pinpoint what the hell was going on in his head. Because in my dream job, and I'm focused on keeping this job, I'm doing everything I can. That means if coaches aren't getting it done, I don't care how much of a friend we are. Yo, you're fired. I got to get somebody who's going to come in here and get the job done. Players like Norvell. Norvell don't know lighting from the next DB on that staff. But what Norvell sees is you quitting in the workouts, you got to go. You can't tell me that somebody under Taggart's tenure didn't quit. Taggart didn't make any drastic, like the biggest thing I can think Taggart did was get rid of DeAndre Francois. And Francois at that time was damn near forcing his own self out with his play on the field and his off the field. Taggart didn't even have but once it came out that they had gotten a physical altercation, speaking of DeAndre and his girlfriend, it was an easy decision for Taggart to make. I don't know if Taggart made any hard decisions in his tenure in terms of coaches and players. Renzo says, glad to join along. Yep, I appreciate you, man. I love it. I love getting new faces in here, man. I try to do this every Saturday. Usually this would be usually this would be a Saturday Night Live, Renzo, but I got a big boxing match I'm watching tonight. So I'm doing this now, cooking with you guys now. But usually it's Saturday Night Live. Dennis, what's up, man? Polk, Taggart's mindset was to rip FSU off for free millions. That seems to be, I think, and Dennis is, so in case you guys don't know, Dennis, he's my resident Hurricane fan. So I always appreciate Dennis for showing up. I'm almost convinced that I'm almost convinced that Taggart was like sent by UF or something. I'm almost convinced. Domestic violence is a terrible thing in Tallahassee. Domestic violence is a terrible thing everywhere, Dennis. Don't you start. See, he told you. Dennis is our resident Miami fan, so he comes in here with the BS. Domestic violence is a... Appreciate you for tuning in, Dennis, man. Always good to see you. But yeah. So, hey, if you just joining, man, hit that like button. Share it. Let your friends know that I'm on, chatting, talking it up. We're going on 30 minutes right now, but I mean, I'll keep going. It doesn't really matter. Just want to get you guys some talk out there before I call it a day, because I got a big boxing match to watch tonight for my boxing Noles. Hey, I put out a boxing video on, I think it was Wednesday. So if you're a boxing fan, man, and a Nole fan, hey, tune into that, man. Show that video some love and support. Let me know if you guys want to see more stuff like that. By boxing Noles, man, I need you guys to come out and show some support. Donald says, I agree, Polk. Taggart assistant coaches don't believe in his plan. Don't believe in his plan. It don't seem like it. Everybody was just, I don't know. I think everybody was on. They all had the mindset of, I'm just happy to be at Florida State. Renzo says, no doubt, Cinderella is going to turn midnight on Friday. Yes, sir. Renzo. Hey, Renzo, Cinderella, you damn right. Wilder's gonna knock that boy back to the UK. It's bomb squad all day. So that's why I'm on here now, because when it comes to tonight, I'm gonna be glued in front of my TV with my drink. Watching Bomb Squad, baby. But yeah, if you're just tuning in, you didn't hear what I talked about earlier. I basically was cooking on Durden running his mouth on social media about the AJ Lighton situation. If you're not tracking, Lighton got kicked off the team. And from what I have gathered, the narrative seems to be he quit during the tour of duty drills, walked out of practice, and Norvell gave him the boot. Durden decides to go on his little social media and talk about he won't respect it, and deletes the tweet soon after, which makes me believe that somebody like Marv or some leader, maybe even Odell, who knows, somebody got to him and said, hey, delete that, we're not going to do that here. And yeah, Durden needs to focus on doing what he needs to do to be the best player he can be. Because all that other BS he's doing, he too many times he comes out on social media talking about some foolishness when he needs to be focused on improving himself as a player. Because I said this before and I'll say it again. When Marv was hurt, Durden, your production fell off the map. So for me, that says Marvin Wilson, commanding all that respect, freed you up to do a lot of the things. Improve your talent, my friend. Improve your talent. Make it so that both of you guys are unblockable. Not just that Marv's unblockable and that you get a free look because they have to double Marv. Improve your talent. Worry about being all ACC. Worry about being the best D-tackle you can be, Durden. Stop worrying about what everybody else is going through. And even if you have a legit problem with the Lions situation, but I'm sure you're not the only player that did, talk about it as an in-house, not on social media, trying to disrespect the coaches. Kendrick says, have you seen when Corey Wren had called in on Turk Tally? So, yeah, I know, that was last week, I believe. Corey Wren's dad, I think, had called in or something. Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was pretty cool. That was a big thing for Turk. That's pretty dope that you can get a player's dad to watch your show. I only wish I can get that one day. But I thought that was cool. I do think that was cool. But yep, so that's pretty much what I cooked on today was that whole corridor. Other than that, not a lot going on in Florida State news. Guys just working hard. They've been doing they've been reviewing each player's profiles that was in the recruiting class, which is kind of cool. Some other news is Odell confirmed that Jarrett Jackson? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but the Louisville transfer at DN, he is officially a D tackle. He's not going to be playing DN. They got him listed at 6'4", 290. Odell confirmed that when he got on campus, they looked at him and said, "Oh man, you got a lot of work to do." And unlike Lighton, he's been putting in the work. Odell has had nothing but praise for him. 6'4", 290, putting in the work. Odell's been happy with what he's seen. He will be a part of the defensive tackle rotation. So I think that's pretty solid news for Florida State. We do need defensive ends, but I think we need tackles just as much. It's going to be a closer fight than we think, bro. I think Wilder will win. Oh, no, listen. So when we start talking this boxing deal, don't get me wrong. Fury can box his ass off. I think Fury is very entertaining with everything he does outside the ring. So the problem I got with Fury in this fight is if you didn't watch the weigh-in, Fury's coming in at 270. I don't know how much Fury's going to be able to move. And against Wilder, you have to move. Because if you're stationary for too long, he's going to pop your ass and you're going to go night-night. And he's got 41 victims to prove that is the case. So I do think it'd be a good fight, though. I think Fury can fight, will come to fight. I got to ride with Bomb Squad all day. I got Bomb Squad knocking his ass back to the UK. But don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be surprised if that thing went to the 12-round decision and Fury won it. I would be pissed, but I wouldn't be surprised because Fury has that type of ability. Not thrilled with the fact that Fury's coming in at 273, though. That could be a problem. I'll stay on. They got the basketball game, I think, just started. Here, let me find it. Yep. Basketball game just started. Nole's up 9-6 against NC State. If you're not tracking, NC State blew Duke out 88-66 their last game. So ESPN's got this as a 50-50 toss-up game between Florida State and NC State. Right now it's 9-6. FSU up. Forrest got 4 points. Vassell with 3 points. So if you stay tuned, we'll periodically check on the basketball game and go through that. Yeah, that's crazy. Fury exactly. Fury at 270. I don't like that. I mean, maybe it works for him, but you gotta try and tell me at 270 pounds you're gonna be able to move all night away from that right hand. I don't see it. And not to mention, everybody's talking about Fury's weight. Wilder came in at 230. Wilder's never been 230. I think Wilder's gonna try to put him out early. Renzo, that's what I like to hear. Taggart should have treated the job like it was his dream job, but I still think Tag should have gotten a little bit longer. I hope he does well at FSU. I don't wish him nothing but the best, to be honest with you. I think Taggart is a great man. He's a good guy. I was initially, see, the thing about that, Renzo, I was upset that they got rid of Taggart so quickly. But then everything that has come out after the firing makes me say it was the right time. The way Keith Gavin talking about the Taggart era and former recruits have talked about the disorganization of the. I don't think we could have afforded another year, to be quite honest with you. And I think that was the right time to cut him loose. I think had you waited longer, you could have been in a situation where, like Miami under Al Golden, where he buries that program, right? Yeah, I think you had to cut bait with him early, and you did the best you could do, in my opinion. At first I was upset, but in hindsight, I support the firing 100% at this point. Polk, have you made any Applejack Bowls Damn it, Dennis. Here you go. You ain't got nothing better to talk about, Dennis. I haven't made any reservations for 2020. I don't I'm too far as of right now. When I get back in the States is when I'll definitely be more in Tallahassee checking out some games. But right now, I'm just too far. Hawaii's too far. It costs too much and everything. Just too far. But yeah, he definitely treated it like his dream job, and I thought he didn't. If it's my dream to be somewhere, I'm going to treat it like such, and you're not going to be able to just fire me. Like, I'm going to fire everybody before I get fired if it's my dream job. 9-9, tied up, FSU, NC State, 13-24 in the first half. Of course, we got to bring it up. Like, let's be honest, Dennis. Like, if you hold on to Taggart too long, you have a chance to have a situation like that. Like, that's just, again, my opinion. But let me ask you this: you keep Taggart for this next year, what changes? You're still going to be disorganized. You don't get Chubba Purdy in the recruiting trail or Tate Rodemaker, so you're only going to sign maybe Jeff Sims. Jeff Sims' final ranking, he went from a 4-star to a 3-star. That's the quarterback you're bringing in. Maybe you still get Malachi Wyman, so there's the plus. You probably don't get a Robert Scott as offense tackle. Like, if you keep Taggart, what is the upside of keeping Taggart an extra year? That all of a sudden it magically clicks? There was enough proof to show that it wasn't clicking and that it was getting worse. So I don't really know what the benefit was of keeping Taggart other than to say, yeah, we gave him his full tenure of the contract, but now the program's in such disarray, it's going to take 5 years instead of maybe 2 or 3 years to bring us back to where we need to be. No, I'm in the Army. Dennis, I'm in the Army. Can't do the Navy, man. I can't be on the boat that long. I'm stationed in the Army over here for the next year or so, and then I think I'm going to call it quits. But, yeah, I'm in the Army, not the Navy. NC State leads 13-11. Yeah, NC State 13-11. 15-11 now. God damn it. NC State might have a solid team. I mean, they are 17-9, but they could be one of those teams that are kind of blossoming late and finding their groove. I mean, you don't just beat Duke by 22 points, and you know what I mean? Kendrick says he'll catch me later. All right, Kendrick, man, appreciate you for tuning in like always. Dennis says his sister was in the Navy in Hawaii. Oh yeah, see, Hawaii is one of the few places throughout the military where you get every branch here. You get the Navy, Air Force, Marines, Army. We're all here on this island. So there are, we got a lot of people here. It's been raining here like the past 3 weeks. That's our winter is, you guys are over there freezing. Our winter is just rain, rain, rain. So Devon Daniels right now is killing it for NC State. He's got 7 points, 2 for 2, and 3 for 4 from free throw. Florida State's got to get it together. So I know a lot of y'all might be tuned into the basketball game, and that's cool. Again, if you tuned in for this little episode, I really appreciate it. Might stay on a little longer. People want me to stay on, I'll definitely stay on. If not, we can call it quits. Just let me know what you want me to do. Renzo says they whooped Duke ass the other night. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They whooped them. Like it wasn't even a contest. 88-66. So NC State's got a little squad going. They got some confidence. So I need FSU to take care of their business. think it must be a timeout now because the score isn't updating. So right now, 15-11, NC State has the lead. Excuse me. But other than that, that really isn't any other FSU news, man. But I will say this. I don't know if you guys would be up because the fight comes on the East Coast kind of late. Like, it doesn't even start till 9 o'clock on the East Coast. But what I'm thinking of, win, lose, or draw, I might come on here after the fight, and we'll probably talk about the fight in some aspect. What went right, what went wrong. Same down here in Mississippi. We get wet and cold winters down here. Yeah, I know Mississippi. But see, that's the thing, though. It's not cold here in Hawaii. It don't get cold at all. Like, the coldest it'll get is 75 degrees. It just rains all the damn time. Dennis, I hate you. Go ahead, man. Talk your shit, Dennis. Talk your shit. Let's go. Let's see what we got. I don't see. There's really not much going on with the program, which is, in my opinion, that's kind of good news, man. Right? Hold on a second. Yeah, Donald said NC State is very good at home. FSU has to score. No long period with scoring. You got to score. FSU is usually very good defensive team. But I agree. You got to keep scoring. Renzo, we're going to see Duke again in the ACC tournament. Yeah, we're definitely going to see Duke again. No doubt about that. Florida State just turned the ball over, so if FSU doesn't play a good, smart game, I don't know. They could end up losing this game, and NC State could have that's a solid 2-game winning streak right there. You're talking about beating Duke and Florida State back to back. Solid 2-game winning streak. Yeah, that was Dennis says he used to love FSU basketball. Back when they had Charlie Ward, Bobby Sir, and Sam Cancel. Yeah, that was like the early 90s. Like 91, right? Isn't that like 91, Florida State made like the Elite Eight or something like that with those guys? Something like that. I remember. That was a long time ago, though. None of us aren't that old, Dennis, sorry. But I know what you're talking about. Renzo says, and I hope Miami has Diaz when we play them because we're going to do the same thing they did to our coach. Man, I was so mad when Miami fired Golden. I'm hoping they keep Diaz for the long term. Miami, you guys got to keep Diaz forever. I don't want you to fire him. FSU has to improve the road. FSU is pretty much unbeatable at home. You're right. We lose most of the games on the road. But, that's kind of like nitpicking. But 14-15 right now. NC State's up by 1 point. Polite just made a 3. And foul on Trent Forrest. FSU's got to play smarter with the fouls and the turnovers, though. That's the thing that's going to could be costly in this game. You got to play smarter with the foul. They've sent these guys to the line a ton of times already. right. What else we talking about? When we made the Elite Eight back in 18, I believe. Yeah, was it 18? When did Florida State make the Elite Eight? It was a couple years ago. I do remember what you're talking about. That was back in, it was 93. That's when Dennis is talking about 93. FSU fell to Kentucky in the Elite Eight. Yeah, 2018, yeah. We beat Gonzaga to get to the Elite Eight. Yep. FSU's been to the Elite Eight a few times. Donald says Pat's got to take over the game. He's been playing lights out lately. I agree, man. Pat's got to get his game going. He's been, I know Vassell has been the guy that everybody's been talking about, but Pat has been the guy that's lately he's came on and really has like carried. I don't know if carried the team is the correct term, but he's maybe been the best player on the team lately. And in case you didn't know, I'm trying to see the XFL is playing Roughnecks Vipers. I try rooting for the Vipers, but it's very hard because they are so trash. Hold on a second. Who is? No. I'll get him when I'm done. Anyway, what else we got? Yeah, that was in 18 when we lost to Michigan. Yeah, Renzo. Absolutely. So North Carolina's playing Louisville. North Carolina's been such a disappointment this year. You know, getting victories against them doesn't even mean anything this year. And right now it's 20-16. NC State is still winning. And it's basically just been FSU with the turnovers and the fouls. Like I said, if they don't tighten up on the turnovers and the fouls, yeah, it could be a long game. But I'm going to go ahead and call this one. But I will see you tonight. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to go ahead and do something after the Wilder Fury fight. And it'll be a late night stream, but if you just so happen to be up, man, tune in. But I'm going to go ahead and start getting my day started because the fight comes on, or they're going to start doing like preliminaries and stuff in the next couple hours. So I got to get ready. I got to get my alcohol on deck. But yo, man, thank you for tuning in to Cooking with Polk County Nole. I try to get as much content as I can. Got a few more comments. Hold on. Dennis says FSU stole Dugans from us. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Dugans is a Tallahassee native. Renzo says, since we're talking about basketball, what in the hell happened to North Carolina? That's what I was just talking about, Renzo. I don't know. North Carolina fell off so bad this year. But yep, peace out, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in for this little episode. We will keep it going. Don't worry. More Saturday Night Lives. More Friday Night Chop Chats. All that stuff's still coming. Appreciate for tuning in, man. Hit that like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. Hey, stay classy, Seminoles, like I always say. And I will see you guys next time.